Hello children. So we were doing tissues and we have completed plant tissues which were simple and complex. Today we will start with animal tissues. All of us know that animals and plants, they are quite different from each other. Why? Because the main point of difference is animals are mobile while plants are mostly stationary. Second, they are autotrophic and animals they are heterotrophic. The other difference is the energy need of animals is much more because they have complex life processes. So the tissues of both of them, plants and animals, must be different. Tissues are also different, and we will learn what are the tissues of animals. Broadly, the animal tissues, they are categorized into four types. One is epithelial tissue, second is connective tissue, third is muscular tissue, and fourth is nervous tissue. We will study all these tissues one by one. So in this video we will discuss about the first tissue, and that is epithelial tissue. All of you know what are tissues. Now what is epithelial tissue? Epi means on the top, over, thelial like a sheet. So the tissue which is present on the top of the body in the form of a thin sheet is known as epithelial tissue. You must be wondering that when we wet in rains, that is, we are standing in rain, our clothes are wet, but do the water comes inside our body? No. Does our body bloats? No. The water does not go inside our body. Why? Because we are covered, we are protected by this epithelial tissue or the skin. The skin is epithelial tissue. We are covered fully, the whole body is covered by epithelial tissue which is waterproof. That's why the water does not go inside our body. So this is the epithelial tissue. The epithelial, now we know it is present outside the body, but you must be wondering that anywhere else this tissue is present or not? Yes, this tissue is also present inside our body in the different organs. The inner lining of different organs, it is also formed by epithelial tissue. We will discuss one by one. Now this epithelial tissue can be classified in two ways. First, depending upon the number of layers of cells. Number of layers of cells. And second, it can be classified on the shape of the cells. So first we will take this number of layers of cell. So it is again can be divided into two. If only a single layer is present, then it is known as simple tissue. Simple epithelial tissue. And if more than one layers are present, then it is known as complex? No, it is not known as complex tissue. It is known as stratified epithelial tissue. Is it clear to all of you? So depending upon the number of layers, This epithelial tissue can be divided into two types. One is simple, when only single layer is present, like you can see here, see here, see here. All these are simple tissues. And if because one layer, single layer is present, so these are simple tissues when only one layer of cells is present. But if the layers are more than one, then it is known as stratified epithelial tissue. Stratified means many layers one upon the other. Then it is known as stratified. You can see here, this is stratified and this is also stratified. Here many layers of tissues cells are present and here only two layers are present. So both of them, they are stratified tissue. So this is one classification. The other classification of epithelial tissue, it depends upon the shape of the cells. So we have three types of tissues depending upon the shape of the cells. The first is known as squamous epithelial tissue. Second is known as cuboidal epithelial tissue. And third is known as columnar epithelial tissue. So depending upon the shape of the cells, the tissue can be divided into squamous, cuboidal and columnar. Now what is squamous? These two, they are squamous tissue. Why squamous? Here the cells are like square. Cells are like this. So somewhat like the shape of a square, so that they are known as squamous tissue. One more thing about the epithelial tissue, before classifying them, we should know 2-3 special qualities of these epithelial tissue. Then first quality is there is no intercellular spaces. That is, the tissue is continuous. You can see here, one cell after the other, one cell after the other. So a continuous sheet is formed. There are no intercellular spaces between them. The second point is no blood vessels are there. You can see no blood vessels are there in this tissue. So from where it is getting its energy or nutrition. So the energy or the nutrition to these tissues, it is given by the membrane on which it is based. And this membrane, it is known as basement membrane. Because it is at the base of the tissue, so it is known as this membrane, it is known as, here the blue color, this is known as basement membrane. And from this basement membrane, all the tissue, they are getting their nutrients. So these are two important things. One, without intercellular spaces, forming a continuous sheet. And second, they have no blood vessels. These are two important properties of all the epithelial tissue. Now coming to the classification depending upon shape. This is the first one. These two is squamous. The shape of the cell is square. This is having single layer, so it is simple squamous, and this is having many layer, so it is stratified squamous epithelial tissue. A long name, stratified squamous epithelial tissue. So where are they present? This single layer is present in the lungs, in our lungs, in alveoli and in the walls of bronchioles. Why there is single layer? What is the function of our lungs? In lungs, gaseous exchange takes place. The blood vessels which are around the alveoli will take oxygen and they give out carbon dioxide. So single layer is sufficient for this diffusion. The diffusion is easy when the cell is single layered. These are thin walled cells, and through this cell oxygen comes into the blood and the carbon dioxide from the blood comes in the alveoli. From there it is breathed out. So this single layered epithelial tissue, it is found in our lungs. Now where this is present, stratified, it is present in the skin. Our skin is made up of so many layers. Why? Because skin has a protective function. Skin protects our body from mechanical injuries, from invasion by bacteria or fungi or other pathogens, and it also waterproof our body. So the skin, it is formed by many layers and it is stratified. One more thing, there is a protein named keratin. Keratin is the name of a protein. So these outside cells, keratin is deposited in these cells. They have certain amount of keratin, and this keratin is the protein which makes our skin waterproof and supportive or mechanical in function. So these are squamous epithelial cell, simple and stratified. Now coming to the second, cuboidal. Cuboidal, as the name indicates, they are like cube. You must have seen cube of ice or any cube. So the cells resemble the shape of a cube. That's why they are known as cuboidal epithelial tissue. These two are cuboidal. This is single layered, so it is simple. This is having two layers, so it is stratified. In cuboidal, not more than two layers are present. Only two are present in it stratified, not many like this. And in simple, only one is present. Again, this basement membrane is present, and from this basement membrane, these cells, they are getting their nourishment. So where these are present? These are present in kidneys. Do you know? You must be knowing, in kidney urine is formed. How the urine is formed? The blood which comes into the kidney, it has certain nitrogenous waste material in the form of urea or uric acid. This has to be filtered from the blood to get out from the body. It is harmful. So in kidneys, the tubules and Bowman's capsule, one of the part is there, nephrons are there, which are filtration units. These filtration units, they are lined by this type of epithelium, single layered. So the waste product like urea and uric acid, they are filtered through these membrane and the waste is removed from the body. So this is present in the kidney tubules and kidney capsules for filtration of blood. Now the second one, having two layers, it is stratified and it is present in the ducts or tubes of certain glands like the sweat gland or oil gland or salivary gland. So, and their function is absorption and secretion. So they secrete certain substances in glands like salivary oil and sweat glands. They line the epithelium of these glands. The inner epithelium is made up of stratified cuboidal epithelial tissue. Now the third type, depending upon the shape, they are columnar. Column means pillar. This is like pillar. You almost be knowing pillars. So column or pillar. So their shape is like column or pillar. So the name is columnar. So these are this and this. They are the type of columnar epithelial tissue. The shape is rectangular or elongated like a pillar or the column. They are present on basement membrane, and they are present in our digestive system, in stomach, in small intestines, in large intestines. The inner lining, it is being covered by these columnar epithelial tissue, and they help in absorption of nutrients in our small intestines, and from there it is given to the blood vessels. So it is single layered there. Now these are three. Where are the stratiated in columnar? No. In columnar epithelium, stratification is absent. Stratiated columnar epithelium is not present anywhere. It is only single layered. Sometimes a very thick columnar epithelium is present, which looks like multi-layered, like in uterus and some other places. But it is not multi-layered. It looks like multi-layered. So we call it as pseudo this columnar epithelial tissue. So this is pseudo but not multi-layered. Now this is a special type of tissue. Some special tissues are also present. This is columnar and this is cuboidal. What are you seeing? You are seeing these red color hair-like projections on these cells. These hair-like projections, they are known as cilia, and they move to and fro. They are movable, and these are present on the top of these, both the type of epithelial tissue. So it is present in our esophagus or food pipe, and it helps the food particles to go down to the stomach. By their movement, the food particles, they come down to the stomach. So they are present in food pipe. They are also present in respiratory tract, in our trachea and bronchus. So these are also present there. What are they doing there? They secrete mucus, and any particle which comes with the air, it is thrown away by the movement of these cilia. These are also ciliated cells. They are known as ciliated, and these ciliated cells, they are present in certain glands like this. This is also present in certain glands. These are also present in sweat glands or oil glands or tubules of kidney. These are also present in the inner lining of tubules of kidney. So that is how the classification of epithelial tissue, depending upon the number of layers, depending upon the shape and where in the body they are located and what they are doing in our body. So this epithelial tissue is the most important tissue for at least human beings and other animals. If it is absent, then we will be not what we are today. Secondly, this tissue, also the skin, also help us to protect us from UV rays, ultraviolet rays, which is very harmful and can cause cancer and other skin diseases also. So all these tissue, they are important for the proper functioning of human body. That's all for today. Thank you.